In many cases, Detective Jack Leon suffered from a lack of suspects. But this time, he had 5. They were all siblings, the Knight siblings: George, Charlotte, James, Mark, and Annie. They were well known in the city. All of them were physically imposing people who excelled in sports. All of them were high school all-stars. George played football, Charlotte wrestled, James was a hockey player, Mark played basketball, and Annie was a phenomenal baseball pitcher. But none of them pursued anything athletic after high school. Instead, they went to work in their family's stone quarry. They were suspects in a murder case because a dead body had been found in their family's quarry. The victim was identified as 49-year-old Jethro Salt. He had been beaten to death with a rock. Jethro was a married man with 2 children. Jack didn't know why he was at the quarry. Jack had talked to Jethro's wife. The last time she saw Jethro, he told her that he was going to the grocery store. She didn't know why he went to the stone quarry. Jack got the surveillance footage from the entrance of the quarry, which was the only way in and out. When Jethro entered the quarry at 4:06 p.m., all 5 siblings were there. They were the only ones in the quarry. Jack also knew that all the siblings were physically capable of beating someone to death with a rock. In fact, he was surprised they used a rock instead of their bare hands. Annie left at 4:18. George left 7 minutes later. Mark left at 4:31. James walked out a minute later. And then Charlotte was the last to leave at 5:37. The body was found the next morning at 6:49 by a non-family member employee of the quarry. After Jack reviewed the footage, he brought in all the siblings for questioning. He put them all in their own cells and questioned them individually, but none of them said anything. They didn't even ask for a lawyer. Jack knew one of the Knight siblings killed Jethro Salt. He just didn't know which one. Jack had done a lot of research into the family.
George, the football player, is the oldest at 29. He is married and he has 3 children. George is the head of sales at the quarry. He has a criminal record and he did some time in prison for an assault. During a road rage incident, George punched a guy so hard that it basically shattered part of the man's jaw and cheekbone. Now, I called the victim, and years later, he talked with a speech impediment because of the assault. The victim said the assault was completely unprovoked. Charlotte, who they often call Charlie, is the second born. She is 28. Charlie was a state champion wrestler, known for her viciousness. I heard a lot of rumors that she broke several of her competitors' bones, but I didn't find any evidence that she ever hurt anyone too seriously. She works as the family's accountant. James, the hockey player, is a foreman at the quarry. Now, I didn't find any dirt on him. I knew he was 27. And he and his girlfriend have been together for about 18 months. He is active in his church and regularly does volunteer work at the local food bank. Mark is the tallest of the siblings. He's standing at nearly 6'5". He is 26 years old and he was the captain of the basketball team when he was in high school. He does have a criminal record as well. He was arrested for driving under the influence. And he was arrested after a bar fight. I read the report on the fight. Seems the guy was acting inappropriately to a woman at a bar, so Mark beat the living daylights out of him. The guy he beat up was arrested last year for 3 violent sexual assaults. Mark is the quarry's admin manager. Then finally, there is Annie, the baseball pitcher. She is 25. Now, she is the only Knight I knew of before the murder. Now, she played on the boys' team in high school, and she was far and away the best player on the team, if not the entire league. I heard she had nearly mastered the knuckleball, and she could hit better than anyone on the team. There were rumors she was going to the minor leagues, and there was even hope she was going to the majors, but none of that panned out. She is a salesperson at the quarry. While Annie does have a good reputation in the community, I heard some dark things about her. Supposedly, she used to run with a bad crowd, and she was the worst among them. I heard one time she had her friends hold a guy down, and with a baseball bat, she broke at least 1 bone in each limb. I found out the identity of the victim, so I called him. but he refused to talk about the assault.
Jack could only hold the Knight siblings for 24 hours, and then he had to cut them loose. He brought them in 23 hours ago. Suddenly, Jack's phone buzzed. He checked it, and there was a text message. Somehow, the number was blocked. He quickly opened the text message.
Well, that's interesting,
Jack thought. Whoever texted him knew about the murder, which was odd because the only thing that had been released to the public was that a body had been found in the quarry. Jethro Salt's name had not been released to the public, nor had the cause of death, or that the death was a homicide. The rest of the message was useless.
I already know I have to question one of the Knights. I just don't know which one,
Jack said to himself. Jack thought he had 2 clues, or at least he thought they were clues. One was written on the back of the victim's hand: MK, BD, EG, CE, BR, AE, BI, HM, TY, CR, HS. Also, in his wallet was a $1 bill. Written in ballpoint pen were 3 sets of numbers: 978 110 115 3536, 978 031 692 0049, 978 031 617 5296. Did either set of writing have anything to do with the murder? After all, there had to be a reason that Jethro Salt was in the quarry that evening. Jack knew that Jethro wrote on his hand himself, but anyone could have written the numbers on the bill. He compared the handwriting, but he couldn't tell if they were the same. As Jack pondered everything, he paced. Then he said,
I got it.
Jack entered the interrogation room of one of the Knights. Which Knight was in the room?
Thanks a lot for watching today's video. We'll have the answer to this video next Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. An hour later, we'll have a brand new mystery. Thanks again for watching, and good luck with your investigation.